Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia, and this is what happened on the soaps, Days of Our Lives edition. Sorry about that. Today is Monday, May the 16th, 2022. Isn't the month going by fast? Oh my gosh, y'all. All right, y'all, let's jump right into it on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to give it an 8. I don't know what I was expecting, but I'm going to give it an 8. All right, so just knocking out a few people that had nothing to do with nothing. We see that, okay, so we see that Bill and Eric are talking. So Bill and Eric are talking, and she's telling him about, she just got out of a meeting, so she's missed his phone calls and everything. And he said, "Yeah, Allie's possessed and everything, and took Sierra's baby, and they're trying to find a baby." And so then she lets him know about what's going on with her, she and Sean. And I said, "Well, wait a minute, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop what we doing to talk about you and Sean." But okay, girl. So they started talking about she and Sean and what's going on with them, and how he let Jan in the house and everything, and she's disappointed in him about that and whatnot. So then they get a text from Johnny, and Johnny tells them, "Hey, go to St. Luke's because that's where Allie is." So they're like, "Okay, we gotta go." And but Eric tells Belle not to go because he said there's enough people being possessed. If I gotta do this exorcism again, I don't need the devil jumping into anybody else. And she said, "Okay, I understand." So then we see that Sean was at the police station talking to John, right? So Sean was talking to John, and they were he was just wanted to catch up about the baby and everything. And then they bring up Jan, and she's living there, and he's telling him about, he doesn't want that disrupting Belle and stuff like that. So then, Sean explains, "I don't want her there either," but he was like, "But at the end of the day, whether I like it or not, that's, he would love for Belle to be carrying his child, but she's not. It's Jan, and he can't help that." So he was like, "I have to protect the baby." Now then he gets an alert on his phone because Jan but done went and tried to get out of the house or something. So she breached her restraint as far as she can go, circumference. And so John said, "Don't worry about it. I'll go and check on it or whatever." And Sean was like, "Oh, you sure?" He was like, "Yep, I'll go check on it. You got more important things to do." So then John goes over there with Jan, and she all up in like her pregnant self all up in this night. Not saying that if you pregnant you can't be. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, like, girl, what you trying to do? So she all up in this nighty and stuff, trying to entice Sean. And John comes in and she said, "Oh," he said, "Oh, I see you were looking for Sean or whatever." Oh, she trying to cover up and stuff. Like, girl, make yourself obvious. And so he said, she was like, "Oh, I think she was got bored and was playing around with her ankle monitor." John said, "I knew you weren't trying to go nowhere. You just was trying to get Sean home to entice him or whatever." He said, "But what we're going to sit here and talk about is that you not finna bother my daughter or whatever." And she tells him, "I don't want anything to do with your daughter. I'm not trying to bother your daughter. I don't want anything to do with your daughter or whatever. All I want to do is make sure my baby is safe." So at this point, Marlena has now made it over to John to Sean's because she because she knows that he's John is over there or whatever. So she's made it over there to speak to him because her dad texts. Okay, so John texts Belle to tell him what was going on, that Jan had tried to breach out of where she could go. And so he said, "Well, what I'm going to do is just go over for Sean." So he texted her, he made it there. So when Marlena was just updating everybody on where Johnny was, Belle told Marlena where John was. And so that's why Marlena is now over to Sean's because she needed to speak to John. So they're speaking, and they get the text from Johnny that tells them go to St. Luke's because that's where Allie is, and he's like, she's gonna need our Johnny's gonna need our help, so they gotta leave Jan there because they got bigger fish to fry than than messing with Jan. So they leave her there. Okay, so then we see Trip is talking to. Okay, so Trip before Marlena went over to John's, she had met up with Trip, And she had called, well, Tripp had called her and he asked her what was going on. And she said, "Oh, I thought you had news." "Why would Tripp have news, ma'am?" But anyway, so Tripp said she starts telling Tripp about Johnny going to the cemetery and everything. So he says, "I'm going over." And she said, "You still love Allie?" And he says, "And I'm gonna, plus," he said, "plus I'm a doctor and all this, like if they need help, I'm a doctor, I can be there to help." Plus he wants to support Allie and Johnny. So he like, "I'm going over too." So now he's going over to the cemetery. I'm trying to get everybody out of the. Okay, so now we go over to the cemetery. So when they go over there, um, Johnny is knocked out, and Allie is with the baby in the middle, getting ready to transfer herself into the baby. But then Sierra and Ben pull up in the motorcycle, and they're like, "No, stay away from my baby," or whatever. She said, "It's too late." Charlie like, and Ben said, I'm gonna get my baby," and Charlie said, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." But Ben go for it anyways, because he gotta try. So he goes for it and tries to get the baby and gets because Allie has put some kind of like barrier around them, that he gets knocked out when he tries to do it. So then Sierra goes over to Ben and she's like, "Oh my God," checking his pulse and all that. I said, "Okay, if y'all gonna give me this kind of story, y'all gotta be able to act better than this." Like, I'm sorry, you gotta act better. Like, you can't make it this fake looking for me. But anyway, so then Sierra pulled herself together and she's like, I'm getting my baby." And so she goes in and she prays to God, please give her strength and everything. And so then she starts going in to get her baby, touching the barrier or whatever that Allie has put up. And she's breaking through. And Charlie says, "Boss, something's going on here." And so Sierra's getting through. And Allie said, "What is this? This is impossible." So she gets up because she was kneeling down. So she gets up and she and Sierra start doing, tug of war on the barrier or whatever. And then Sierra's able to push Allie through the barrier to push her back. So the barrier is broken. And so Sierra goes to her baby. And Charlie is like, "Boss, what's going on?" Because remember, he calls Allie boss. Allie the demon boss. And she said, "Impossible." And Sierra was like, "Oh, my baby." And she gets her baby and she holding her baby and everything. And Johnny is up at this time. So the demon takes off. So Johnny follows the demon or whatever. And then Charlie is like, "That was gonna be my baby." That was going to be my baby to raise. He said, "But if I can't raise a baby, then neither can he." Who is looking at Ben, because Ben is still knocked out. Now, Ben is not dead, but he's knocked out. And so Charlie pulls out a knife and he's finna go kill Ben. Sierra can't jump in front of Ben, I guess. She can't jump in front of Ben because she got the baby in her arms, even though I was like, "Girl, put the baby down for a second." So she got the baby in her arms, but luckily Tripp came through and he knocked him out with a steel bat. And she said, "You brought a baseball bat." He said, "I knew I was gonna need protection." And so when he does that, it makes Charlie turn into dust. And so then Ben wakes up and they take the baby to Ben and Sierra take the baby to Kayla at the hospital to make sure the baby's all checked out. Sean is on his way to the hospital when he runs into Belle, and she said, "Where you going?" And he said, "All the police officers are going to check on Allie and St. Luke's and everything. So I'm going over here to check on the baby and Sierra and Ben and everything." Because they finally came and got Evans. So he was like, "Oh, okay." She was like, "Well, I'll go with you or whatever." Because Eric had talked to her and he was like, at the end of the day, that is a baby. And Sean can't help, that Jan is the mother of the baby. But he's like, the baby's still gonna need Sean even when Jan goes back to prison. So you got to make up your mind what you gonna do, girl. And so, I think it made, because please keep talking to Eric, because it warmed her up some. And so she said, "I'll go with you." And so they ride together over to see the baby and being in Sierra and everything. And they were like, "What do you name him?" She told Kayla said, "What do you name him?" And she said, Bo Brady Weston. Which I don't know, I think that's a cute name. But anyways, I guess because after her dad and everything. But anyway, so they're very excited and happy about that. And so the baby's all good, right? Sean is enjoying being with Belle, the baby, and Ben and Sierra. And Jen gonna run and call Sean, talking about, where are you? He was like, what you want? She was like, where are you? You're supposed to be off right now. And he said, I said, Jan, he is not obligated to be with you 24/7. Like, what are you doing, mama? And so she said, I'm craving a hamburger. And I said, Brady, I mean, Sean, please don't do this. Like, girl, Uber Eats. Uber your burger, DoorDash your burger. He do not have to come and give you this burger. And she was like, I'm craving a hamburger. The baby wants a hamburger. Sean, I really need it. So Bill told him, just go. So he go on or whatever. He goes on or whatever. And Bill is just like, she gonna have to deal with it. So then he gets over there to Jan and she eating her burger and stuff. And he all on his phone. And I was like, okay. And she starts talking to him about how she rubs her stomach, and he was like, what's wrong? And she was like, I just thought about Sierra and how worried she must have been, like not knowing where her baby was and knowing something could happen to her baby. And I said, not y'all trying to bond. Sean, get up. Like, what you doing? Get your butt up. Get your butt up and go and see Belle. Not y'all trying to bond or whatever. Ooh, just works my nerves. And anyways, so then that was it with them, y'all. So then we see that Sierra and Ben are in the hospital and the baby is fine. Everything is fine with the baby, but so they're in the hospital and everything, and Sierra's holding the baby, and she told Ben, "Don't laugh," but it was like a presence there with me. He was like, "I can't believe you fought off the devil. Like you were just able to go in there and get the baby." He said, "Cause that thing knocked me smooth out. Like it felt like an electric bolt hit me." She said there was just a presence there, and she said, "Don't laugh," but like it felt warm and just it was inviting and warm, and she just felt a presence with her. And so she turns around and Bo comes through and she says, Ben, am I seeing things? And he said, if you're seeing them, I am too. So then Bo talks to her or whatever, and she tells him, I named the baby after you. And he was like, thank you for that and everything. And that was a sweet moment, y'all, because people who lose their parent, like someone special to them, it doesn't even have to be a parent, but someone you really care about, and then you go through life um having these moments, the life changing moments. You want that person to be there, and so it was sweet that they let Bo come back for that. So he was the presence that was there helping her when she was trying to when she was defeating the devil and everything, and he showed up at the hospital for her and everything, all that. So anyways, moving right along, yeah, Allie went. Okay, so Allie is now at St. Luke's. And then they show that old scene where Marlena tried to burn down the church. Alex said, this is fitting 25 years later and all that. I said, please don't bring this devil back. Like, please don't do this. And so Alex said, this is fitting as the devil. And so then, Johnny and all them are like, you're not getting away with this, Johnny and Trip and all that. And she says, oh, I'm going to burn this place down with all three of us in it. So then she has the candle lit and everything, because they try to reach Allie, and Allie is trying to fight her, but she's not strong enough. And so the devil said, I'm gonna burn it out with all three of us in it. So the candle went out, and she said, what the heck? And then here come Eric come in saying the Lord's Prayer. I said, did y'all not finish the Lord's Prayer? So y'all missed the last few words of it, didn't you? But anyways, here Eric comes in, and and Marlena come in with her cross. And John come in throwing his holy water. I said, I'm not, y'all not feeling, y'all not feeling entertain me with this fakeness. Now, I'm not talking about the exorcism per se. I'm just saying how it looked. It looked corny. I'm sorry. It looked corny. I said, y'all could have did better than this. Like, I think it was the way John was just throwing that holy water. All right. Pull this together. All right, so John throwing that holy water and stuff, and they all coming in, and Ellie is like, What are you doing here? She said, y'all can't stop me or whatever. And they said, yo, you're gonna be defeated this time. And she said, Pastor, she told Eric, I hope you do better than you did last time because I went on into somebody else. She said, I might even give you a joy ride. And Marlena was like, no, you're not. You're going to leave me and my family alone once and for all. And she said, please. And she was like, so they started, praying the Lord's Prayer. And so then Allie gets down on her knees because it's work, whatever. And she said, if y'all don't leave me alone, I'm going to snap her neck. And so she really was. I said, you really finna snap her neck? Yes, she said, I am. I told him to leave me alone. I said, nah, devil. So then Trip said, wait now, let's talk. Don't snap her neck because she got Henry and Henry need her take me instead. And so she was like, what? You love her that much? He was like, yes. She said, she don't even want you. You're not her first choice. She don't love you like that. He said, but I love her. And then Trip went to getting all into how he loved Allie. I said, oh, heck no. But anyways, so he tell the devil, take me. And so he grabbed the devil up and then Allie passes out on the floor. And they're like, Allie? And then Trip eyes pop up, right? And he said, and then because he's possessed by the demon now, the devil now, and he says, I got a new host body, and I'm still gonna kill Allie. So he wraps his hands around her neck, and but Trip is fighting the devil, and John says, "I'll help you, son." So John goes down to try to get his hands off Allie's neck, but then Trip says, "No, there's only one way to end this, or whatever, to stop this." And so he runs out the window, and he he jumps. So he ran through the grass and jumped. And Trip is on the ground dead, but we know he gonna come back because both gonna come rescue him. At least that's what the spoilers say. But y'all, that was Days of Our Lives today. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, charge it to my head, not my heart. That's what he said at church. Y'all was like, y'all not gonna play with church like this. I watched it. Y'all not gonna play with church like y'all not gonna play with the Lord like this. Couldn't believe it. It's like, what am I watching? Every time you think um they do more, I'm like, okay, okay, we're done here. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow for a new episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go and hit that like button for me. I don't care if you subscribe, really. I mean, if you want to, you can, but hit that like button for me. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.